Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Many Last Words podcast. Peyton, you're back from your trip to Mexico. We're here to talk some Week 11. How's your trip? Any stories to tell? And how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Really no stories to tell. I got, well, I guess like so on Saturday we got a boat. They got married on a Thursday, so we got married Thursday, and then they wanted to do a boat with like all the young folks and the bride's parents, which was fun. And so it was probably like 40 of us on it, and it was damn near like a yacht size boat. Had the top and everything to it. But I got real intoxicated. Me and this other guy, Trey, we're going shots for shots.
Nice.
Also had a little what can we call it? A little fun gummy and
Hmm. Extracurriculars.
a little extracurricular, you know what I mean? And so it
Mhm.
yeah, it was nice. It was a good
Nice.
time.
I like how often you go down to Mexico and you always have really nice things to say about it.
I love Mexico. Like that's I mean, obviously I know you and your fam are from there. It's never that we're ever rocking with ice, fuck ice.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Correct.
I mean, y'all are the native people to these lands and the lands I live in now in Texas. So how can I ever be rude
That's
to a
right.
land of people that I love and I love their food, I love their culture. So I mean, I got nothing but good and nice things to say about the Mexican people and their hospitality.
Hell yeah. I love that. Starting off on a
But
real positive note.
real positive because I mean I got some stuff to say about these other teams, real negative things. But we'll before we get there, Bill, how was
Cool.
your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. Just stayed busy, worked a lot. I've been getting real excited over some Amazon packages I've been getting. I got
Oh,
my tuxedo coming in
all right
today.
now, all right now.
Picking up some more stuff from Macy's tomorrow.
Hey, what are you getting?
I'm getting the tuxedo shirt and the shoes from Macy's tomorrow.
Nice.
So got that. I'm looking at getting some cufflinks. So I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
looking real nice
Real
at the
dapper Dan.
and
Dapper Will.
we'll have some more events next year coming up for it. Like not just like our weddings, but also I'm trying to show up for some Oscar wedding parties and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Just
How does
like
that even work?
I mean just like amongst friends, people just show up in tuxedos just to, like be in the spirit of it. And dude, I'm trying to like keep up with all the actual Academy Award nominees this year. So you got to watch that Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I'm trying
I
to
do
watch
need to watch
Weapons.
that.
I'm trying to watch what's the
Yeah.
other one?
Sinners.
Sinners.
Did you
That's
not
the
watch Sinners yet?
I've not seen it yet.
Bro, you're gonna love it. It was so good.
I'm sure. I
Yeah,
love
it
Michael
was.
B. Jordan.
Yeah, it's you get two of them.
Hell yeah.
What better?
Hell
They're
yeah.
literal twins. And they used a really cool camera. And so you being a producer behind the scenes kind of guy, they used a camera where they can interact, like his two characters can interact so much more than normally having to use a stunt double. So like just like the actual like filming of it is really, really cool. I wasn't a big fan of Weapons, but I'm excited to check out the Leonardo DiCaprio movie as well. I've heard really good things about that.
hmm And then I know Fran wants to watch the new Wicked one, which I do too. The first one was decent. I never got into like the big Broadway craze or like
Hmm.
reading the book or whatever. Um, yeah, just all these big budget things. I'm a fan of. We just finished rewatching The Office yesterday,
Really?
which yeah, I mean I think most of us have seen it. And I always get the jump scare at the very end when Aaron Rodgers is like the judge in the singing competition, if you remember that.
Uh,
He makes his cameo.
uh, I don't remember that. In The Office?
Yeah, in The Office.
Doug, I usually used to watch that like as falling asleep. So like I probably remember like, but I haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah, it's a
You know,
really minor part, but every single time I'm like, damn it,
can't
even here.
can't escape him.
No, no.
I'm much more of a I'm much more of a Entourage guy. I don't know why that took me so long to
Oh,
grab.
Entourage?
Yeah, I love Entourage.
Dude, I just finished watching it for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
That was your first when?
About like 2 weeks ago, I just finished the last episode. Big fan. I know
How
I
long did it take
recognize
you?
like over half of the places that they're at.
Yeah, being in California.
Yeah.
How long did that take you to get through it?
Probably a couple months. It didn't take very long. It was always my breakfast show
No, nice.
that
Dude,
I'd
that
warm
is a good
myself.
breakfast show.
Yeah.
That is a good breakfast show. Um, yeah, I love Entourage. And who's your favorite character?
Oh man. I like the character development of Turtle, how he turned himself into something.
He's my favorite character. I like E, but Turtle's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I like Vince also.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Hard to hate him. Um, but hey, let's dive into this ball, man.
Let's do it. Peyton, we
Um,
are a podcast that's ahead of the curve.
hey,
This is what it's been.
this is what it's been.
It's been like this forever.
Um, I want the folks at home to know about the Eagles and Bears alliance that started on Twitter, X.com. We're never going to call it that, Twitter.com. Fuck you, Elon Musk.
Hmm.
Oh, hi, Sonny. Um, we, as a podcast, as Bill alluded to, we're ahead of the curve.
That's
I
right.
normally am not a Bears fan, and normally Bill is not an Eagles fan.
True.
However, with coming together and saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's put our differences aside. Let's just talk to each other. Let's shoot the shit for an hour once a week. Let's see what we can do out of this. Just have fun."
Hmm.
We created a unlikely alliance. I actually didn't like Bears fans growing up, and I felt they were kind of wishy-washy
Right.
with the teams, fair weather fans, if you will. However, with the hope and the pride of Ben Johnson coming to give the city of Chicago something to root for, it's been a hell of a time as an Eagles fan rooting on
Hmm.
Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. Hell of a time.
Our brothers in arms.
Brothers in arms.
That's right.
We got 9 more days until we play each other. 10 more days. We
Just
play on the
about
28th.
next week.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week.
Time's flying.
Time is. That's right.
Um, but yeah, man, I am super excited to see how we stack up the two titans of the NFC.
Hmm.
Who would have thought
Yeah.
that?
You
Who would
can't
have thunk
argue
it?
with it. That's what the record says.
um, so hopefully we both get another win coming this weekend. We got the Cowboys on the schedule. Who do you guys
Ooh.
have?
We got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who may be without Aaron Rodgers, who is ducking us with a
Ooh.
left hand injury.
Ooh.
He doesn't want the smoke. He only preys on the Bears when they're a bad team. Let the record show. He's afraid of a good Bears team.
It's not his fault. You guys were bad for 12 years when he was in Lambeau.
Oh, and I'm sure it wasn't his fault that Jay Cutler got hurt in the second half of the NFC Championship when he
There
threw
you
two
go.
interceptions.
All right. Come with your facts.
I just think it's interesting, Peyton.
The things are lining up, huh? The stars are lining up. Is that what you're
Hmm.
saying?
That's right.
All right. I ain't mad at it.
But yes,
Um,
I'm very happy that these two fan bases have aligned. We've each beat our counterparts' entire division. We're both the Eagles are 3-0 against all the
mhm.
NFC North teams. The Bears are 3-0 against all NFC East teams. So we are playing to each other's benefit, and it's a
We're actually
beautiful
playing
thing
for the
to see
sweep
us all.
too. Now that I think about it, we're playing for the sweep, which is actually kind of like an extra layer of uh sportsmanship manship, whatever you call it. Another extra little layer of a storyline, which would be fun to think about. Hope we'll see if they actually put that in the broadcast and talk about that.
I'm sure they will.
Um, yeah, probably.
Mhm.
But man, isn't that game going to be on Netflix too? Something weird
I think it's on Amazon. It's
or
Black Friday.
Amazon? Got you. Um, yeah,
Early
man.
game also.
Let's dive into the first place Eagles. Why don't we?
Let's do it.
Howie just dropping Jalen Phillips onto our football team, onto our defense. This was the first time in 20 years since the last time, well, not last time, but the Super Bowl they went to in '04, where we had back-to-back weeks of holding of winning a game and not scoring more than 20 points, while also holding teams under 20 since Jimmy Johnson was our defensive coordinator in
Mm,
2004, which is crazy to think about. Um, so I mean, just showing the impact of what getting Nolan Smith, getting Brandon Graham on the field again, getting Jalen Phillips, Adoree Jackson. I was wrong, or maybe I was right, and you needed the motivation, Adoree, because
that's right.
he went out there and has been balling. Um, can't ask for anything more out of him. Um, just real proud of our defense right now because you're keeping us in games, man. Um, I see that you got a few tricks in the trades that the Lions tried throwing at us. Yeah, I think the Lions are stupid because if you paid attention, we called out punt safe, which means we kept our actually starting defense on the field when they try to go for that fake punt,
Hmm.
which normally does not happen. You do that when you know a team is trying to do a fake or you have a hunch that they're trying to do a fake. And then we sniffed it out. We called out punt safe, punt safe. We did, not them. We called it out. And um, for whatever reason, Motor City Dan Campbell decided to just roll with it and proceed to try to do the fake. And we're all calling it out. Like that was a very lackadaisical awareness on his side as a head coach.
Yeah.
He should have been calling out for either a timeout or just to like signal to his punter to just punt the ball because we weren't going to allow any fake to happen. They actually probably would have gotten more time because we weren't rushing the punter. We were solely looking for the fake
Hmm.
with our starting defense on the field. So it just feels like the Lions had a lot of miscues. You can't go 0 and 5 on fourth downs, 1 for 6 on third downs. That can't happen.
Right.
Um, with so many opportunities for them to kick field goals. I was talking to my buddy CJ that is a Lions fan. He's from Metro Detroit, went to Wayne State in Detroit, and he was just like we were talking before the game. We don't talk during the game. We're both real like good sportsmen about like just rooting for our guys and not talking shit to each other
Yeah.
because we both know he played Division 2 ball. He was a receiver, as well as I. So
Beast.
he said a lot of good things about the Eagles, and then I said a lot of good things about the Lions, and we were just like, the Lions realistically should have won that game if they just kicked the field goals, like took the points. Even if they went 3 for 5 on those field goals, it would have put the Eagles in a position where our offense just has not produced. And it would have been nice to see, hey, our offense going to step up to the plate?
Yeah.
But we just didn't have to. We just couldn't continue to get to rely on our defense because we had that lead. And that is our goal. That is the way that we're obviously winning games this year, where it's hey, protect the lead that we get in the first half and just keep rolling. With that stupendous defensive effort from Vic Fangio and that whole defensive team. So I can't shout out more than Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis for all the
Mhm.
swats
That's right.
looking like JJ Watt out there, man, from back in the day. I'm surprised not one of those turned into an interception. I know we had the interception in the first half by White Boy Coop. Shout out White Boy Coop.
Beast.
Um, beast. But no, yeah, man, it just felt like it was an all around perfect game by our defense
Hmm.
and our special teams because our man, it's last name of our punter, did a great job of just booting them, getting them deep, playing field position, defense coming out and getting stops. So I just don't want to say, man, like it's just a great defense. But also shout out for the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, boy, he's a freak.
That
He's
man's
so
incredible.
fast. He's so fast and he's so dynamic. It's really hard to go against. And I think it took them into like the second half to realize like just get him on the edge, and they did, and he was ripping us apart. So hopefully we don't have to see them down the line because I think they're going to get healthier, and then it's easier to beat someone later after you lost to them. Not that that doesn't always happen, that happens that way.
Yeah.
But it's easier to learn from your mistakes than it is from a win. So
Right. They already got the tape on
exactly.
him.
So we'll see what happens down the line with the playoff seeding and all that. But hey, all I can say is right now we're first in the NFC, and let's go Birds, man.
Let's do it, dude.
Let's go Birds.
Dude, the last 2 weeks, going back to also the Packers game that we didn't get to talk about, Jalen Phillips
Mm-hmm.
is an incredible addition to this line.
Mm-hmm.
He's disrupting the pocket, batting down passes, getting sacks. I think Howie hit it out of the park with that one.
They're rounder,
Um,
bro. A
dude.
third rounder is all we had to give up. It was a
That's it.
compensatory third rounder. Wasn't even our own third rounder.
That's awesome. And I'd be interested to see how the Eagles got that one also. And it's just like all this like butterfly effect of like all the moves and like being able to turn something out of, the potential of a third
Hmm.
rounder.
Hmm.
And we see it on the field. It's awesome, dude.
Because I mean, he was a previous one. Like he was a previous first round pick. Great upside. He was the number one player coming out of his high school class. Like that's talent, man. Like
Mhm.
that is a dude. That's Jimmy and Joe's is what CJ always calls them. You need guys out there. You need dudes that are good at playing football.
Yeah.
Breaking news from Adam Schefter. Aaron Rodgers doesn't need wrist surgery. Mike Tomlin says QB status for this week is TBD. 8 minutes ago.
Interesting.
Bill, thoughts on Aaron Rodgers
Looks like he
not
might
needing
try
surgery?
to come out of the shadows and lay it all on the line to protect his name in what he claims is his own stadium.
Hmm.
I think this Bears team has what it takes to stop him in his old age. Um, we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. I do have some more things also
Yeah,
about the Birds
go
and
ahead.
the Lions as well. Obviously, like the second place team in the NFC North now. Actually, I think they're in third place as of right now. If I remember correctly, the Lions are not in the playoffs, which is really
I
interesting.
think you might be right. Right.
I think this is another example of Dan Campbell's hubris getting in the way of his team's success.
You're correct.
We
Six and
saw it.
four. They're
We
out. Hmm.
If you remember the NFC Championship against the Niners, him just getting too full of himself and not kicking field goals in key situations, just being too aggressive in certain points. Like you were saying, if they kick the field goals, they probably are putting the Eagles in a position of pressure, which I don't think the Eagles have been in that position too much this season. And like you
Hmm.
said, it would have been nice to see them rise to the occasion and, have that extra feather in the cap of knowing we can, come back against a good team, which the Lions are.
Hmm.
I don't think they're going to be out of the playoff picture moving forward. I think they'll keep winning. They just ran into the Eagles, which are again they are the class of the NFC until proven otherwise, and they're going to continue to be that number one seed. And I do envision them being there at the end of the season, having home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But I like what we love Dan Campbell for is also like what we end up hating him for, especially if
Hmm.
you're a Lions fan, because that was a game that they could have been in a better position to win. And I think down the line they're going to kick themselves for. Um, but that's what happens when you go up against a team that you feel you need to like go for it on fourth down every single time. And let's not forget the weather. The weather also probably played a pretty big factor in it. I think
Absolutely.
both
Choosing
teams
to
had
go
to play
for
in
it.
it though.
Choosing to go for it, yeah, depending on the weather. I totally agree with that synopsis. I think that it will affect this game in particularly because like if they had gotten the win here, like that seeding wise in terms of head-to-head matchups, like that puts them over so many other teams out west that we've played,
Hmm.
or even just like within your guys' division. So we'll see what happens, man. To me, it is an interesting December. Tell you that.
It is.
Can't wait for multiple reasons,
Hmm.
but
It's gonna be fun.
we'll say that. Very fun.
That's right.
Um, any last second thought? Any many last words for the Eagles game? Eagles lines.
No, I think we summarized it pretty well. I think we're gonna dance on Dallas's grave next week also. How about the Eagles offense explodes, get about 5 or 6 touchdowns, and CD gets like 3 touchdowns for my fantasy.
Do we win the game?
Yes, easily. Cover.
Okay,
Not
then
even
okay.
close.
Hell yeah.
Garbage time CD is what I
I'm,
need.
I'm down for that. That would make me very, very happy. Very, very happy. Um, well, I want to sweep them this year. I want to run away with the NFC East. I don't want it to be any type of close. They had a lot of drops the first time we played them
Hmm.
earlier in the season. Key CD like two or three drops. And so I know that probably won't happen again. And especially with George Pickens playing the dude, he's a freak.
He is.
I think, and so I just said that I talked to Blaze last night. I personally think that CD or that George Pickens, and hey, I would love this to be a clip as well. As an Eagles fan, I believe George Pickens is the better receiver outside of CD Lamb, or like I think he's better than CD Lamb. And I think on that team he should be wide receiver one, um, because he can play so dynamic on the outside on go balls, on comebacks, on crossing routes, taking it 60. So can CD, but CD is much more of over the middle. He does a lot of over routes to pull the safety. He does a lot more crossers, a lot of digs out of CD, but CD doesn't have that. Not the, I mean, he does. We just don't see it as much as we see with George Pickens. That absolute dog go ball, that just acrobatic catches. And so
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see at the end of the year who had more receptions, who had more yards. Obviously, the yards that and the stats don't always tell the true picture of who wide receiver one is.
Mhm.
Um, and I'd be interested to see if they resign him, if they're going to franchise tag him, or if they're going to resign him to a long term deal. I think if they try to franchise tag him, I could see George Pickens sitting out for a few games. I don't see him playing. But hey, if the Dallas Cowboys want to do that and kind of pull the same thing that the Cincinnati Bengals did and signing two like high priced receivers, go ahead. Because then your defense is going to be Swiss cheese. And I
That's
promise
true.
you, to keep you on off the field, what the benefit of the Eagles is, we run the ball. We run the damn ball. We'll play time possession so that CD, Dak, and George have to play perfect on offense with minimal time.
Mhm.
So hey, we'll see. We'll see down the line what happens. But
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. George Pickens, I don't. Were you watching the Monday night game last night?
yeah,
That catch that it didn't count, but would have been a touchdown to
was
George Pickens.
nuts.
Yes, incredible. He was like a foot away from getting his feet in bounds.
Anything like that, yeah.
Yeah, that
That's what I'm
would have
saying.
been one of the catches of the year.
Yeah.
And
He
basically, what you were saying is illustrated just in that. Like, CD doesn't make that.
no, no. He is an elite player. I understand his like similar to AJ Brown, what he's going through right now, like his frustration with the organization, not the organization, I don't say that far, but with the team, the play calling, all of that, the offense in itself. George Pickens was showing that same level of frustration in Pittsburgh, and that's why they shipped him out of there. I don't think we should be in the business of shipping our best players out. I don't know why the Steelers thought that was a smart thing. I
Mhm.
think you pair George Pickens with Metcalf, bro,
Would have been
that
crazy.
offense would have been booming with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
Mhm.
Talk about a AFC North matchup between them and Cincinnati and shootout. Like that would have been crazy. But here, let's not divest. I don't want to go too far away from talking about the Bears. Go
That's
ahead,
right.
brother.
All right. Let me get my little notes here. The Chicago Bears are in first place in the NFC North,
Hmm.
sitting at 7-3. Ben Johnson just achieved his first divisional win, which I think matches Matt Eberflus's entire career as the Bears head coach. I believe also this is the fourth away game that Ben Johnson has won this season, which again surpasses Matt Eberflus's entire career as a Chicago Bears head coach.
Hmm.
I do not mean to make this an entire insult to Matt Eberflus, but this is just illustrating the past handful of years that we've had.
Hmm.
We thought we had it bad with Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy got us to the playoffs twice, which I'll give him credit for.
Hmm.
The second time we were like 8-8, snuck in on the seventh seed, but the playoffs are the playoffs, and we participated.
Hmm.
We win these games, and people seem to always find a way to move the goalpost as to like why it doesn't count.
Hmm.
They say, "Oh, these teams are bad." There's other teams that play bad teams and don't beat them. What do you want us to do? I I'll start off by talking about real quick. The Minnesota Vikings are a good team. They have a great coach, good receivers. They can run the ball with Aaron Jones, and I believe it's Jordan Addison. The defense is incredible. Brian Flores is able to, dial up. I think he blitzed Caleb Williams on 78% of his dropbacks.
I found
So he
something
was
like that.
getting in his face. The schemes that Ben Johnson was trying to draw up didn't have all the time in the world to develop, or made they did a really good job of making Caleb Williams feel uncomfortable. So That's all a recipe for success for most teams. The Minnesota Vikings had J.J. McCarthy under center, who was missing wide ass open throws, and it's unfortunate because I think with a better quarterback, the Vikings are a playoff team.
Hmm.
I think they took such a massive leap of faith that you don't generally see with this being J.J. McCarthy's second year. He, I think it was an ACL injury that kept him on the sidelines all last season, so he wasn't
Hmm.
on the field. He wasn't able to practice the way that, you see the Patrick Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith, like taking those reps, being, actively taking those reps in practice, which
Yep.
would have worked to his benefit.
Yep.
And I just don't understand that, especially shipping off Sam Darnold. You see, outside of this week, he's been playing super well in Seattle. Daniel Jones also playing super well, which I don't know if that like is a direct correlation. I don't know if Daniel Jones would have the same success in Minnesota, but I just it's disappointing to see as a football fan the Minnesota Vikings kind of like pissing away this season after I mean it's the same team that went 14-3 last season.
Only one
So
position
what's
different.
So that stinks. But you guys deserve it because you guys talk a lot of shit on the Bears. So fuck you guys. Um, Shifting back to my own team because I'm not the type that loves to, talk too much about others.
Hmm.
Let's talk about the Bears.
Hmm.
Caleb Williams, first couple drives, getting used to the rhythm of it. I think the offense figured out, all right, this is what it's going to be. So that's kind of what skewed the numbers. He didn't play amazing, but he was doing like just barely enough to kind of move the ball on a few drives to, I mean, we got down and scored with Kyle Monungai in the red zone. That was, I thought, some promise on being able to move on the defense. I think it happened in the second quarter. And then it's like, I mean, it was just a chess match of trying to get into field goal position at that point. Cairo Santos, to his credit, he missed the field goal, his penultimate attempt, and that gave the Vikings a chance to keep it in a one possession game. The Bears defense, while holding up pretty decently well throughout the game, had the benefit of again playing against JJ McCarthy, who wasn't going to miss those throws all day. He was hitting them on the very last drive. That's what pulled him ahead. But you left too much time on the clock for Caleb Williams and the Bears. Five come from behind game-winning drives this season. Though I will throw a flag on the final one. He didn't need to do much because Devin Duvernay returned to 57 yards inside the 40 to a comfortable range for Cairo Santos, who within his own range is good. And he hit that as time expired. DeAndre Swift getting all the rhythm going on that last drive to push him within like an extra 9 yards to make it 4th and 1. I believe around like inside the 30, and then Cairo does what he does. And 7-3 feels amazing. There was some other things throughout the game like that. There was drops again. That's something that's got to get cleaned up. There was less offensive penalties, which I appreciate and I love. I love seeing that. Two interceptions. Again, Kevin Byard having a great year, leading the league
Yeah,
in
he is.
interceptions.
He
Nashawn
is.
Wright. He was one of the players who was coached by the gentleman. I forget his name. He was tragically killed recently. John Beam, who was featured on Last Chance U. He
Mm.
had that on his mind and said that he dedicated that play to him. He made a really good play on that ball. The receiver had outside leverage on him, and he just went right above him, mossed him in the end zone at the end of the
As the
first
kid,
half.
as the kids say, head tapped him.
So it was a full team win. I mean, as special teams came through in a really big way. Offense, I we do need to like remember that this was a really good defense that they played against. So can't really drill them too hard. Caleb Williams only 180 yards, but yards do not translate to wins, and we are in first place, and I am happy about it. We got a big game coming up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am not afraid of Aaron Rodgers this season, of old man Aaron Rodgers. I'm afraid of Darnell Washington. I'm afraid of DK Metcalf.
Dude, Darnell Washington looked crazy,
Dude,
rumbling, stumbling, bumbling down the sideline.
he's like late stage Antonio Gates with early stage Antonio Gates legs.
The weight of the late stage, but then the legs of the early one. That's funny. But before we dive into the Steelers, for next week, you mentioned, and I only have one point to mention for the Bears. You mentioned like, oh, Caleb didn't really have to do anything on that last drive. That's what football is supposed to be.
Hmm.
Complementary. Special teams are a part of the game, and it's coached up. They have meetings every day. And when it's time to make a big play, big time players step up to the plate. And
Hmm.
so, um, shout out to your special teams through and through, from the kick return as well as the kicker, to hit that clutch field goal and win the game. Caleb got to, similar to Jalen, manage the game, man. Sometimes you don't have to, you're not having to be Superman or Batman or whatever superhero you want to use. You just get to be supporting cast.
Yeah.
You get to be I don't remember Robin's name in the last Batman movie, but you get to be like the Robin.
Yeah, the officer.
Yeah, the officer. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
We loved his character. Uh Gordon Levitt played his character. I love him as an actor. Nothing wrong with that. Joseph Gordon Levitt.
Hmm.
I like him a lot.
Me too. We just rewatched that one recently too.
Really? I
Yeah.
saw a clip on it on one of the YouTube shorts. Um, but yeah, man. Shout out to the Bears. Putting eight, what was it? 7-2?
7-3.
7 up 3 now, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm enjoying the ride.
That's a
Whether or
real
not
good
we're
feeling.
really there in the end of the season, if we're really making an appearance in January, doesn't matter because I was told the Bears were not going to win more than 4 games. We're
Dude,
already there. I
do
was
you
told that.
remember?
Huh?
You were 2-2. Do you remember what you were saying on this podcast, this very podcast?
What was my exact words? After the bye, we gotta win some games.
Before the bye, you were, it's another Bear season. I don't know if Caleb is it. We gotta do this and do that.
I'm bought in now.
And I was like, Bill, just get to the bye. You'll be right. And then like, you had a little bit of hope in your eyes. You're like, you know what? P might be right. Get to the bye, get healthy, reset. Ben Johnson's an actual real coach. You're going to actually be able to get adjustments for
Mhm.
after the bye.
There's buy-in
Um,
also on
so
the culture.
exactly. Turned it around. You rattled off what, 5 straight?
Yeah,
Five
the
and one? Five
the
and one?
7 of the last 8
So in the last 8. What are we talking about, man?
beasts.
Are the monster of the Midway's back?
I think the defense needs to make some improvements before officially saying that
Fair
we're
enough.
back.
Fair
But
enough.
Jalen Johnson off of IR, he's practicing. He could be back within the next couple of weeks. That is an interesting development. TJ Edwards, once he gets healthy, that'd be great. I think the 4 games for Kyler Gordon on the IR is coming up pretty quickly. So that back end of the defense will look very nice at full health.
It's actually kind of scary.
The one big issue is the pass rush, which hasn't been amazing, but I do think those guys on the back end will be a big support and it will make things feel a lot better going into January, potentially.
Absolutely. It's complementary football. If the back end is doing well, it gives the D line more time. The D line's doing well, it'll speed up the quarterback and make it easier for the corners and the safeties.
Hmm.
So it's definitely a complementary ball as we were complimenting your special teams. I think getting those players back will help the overall team of the soon to be great Chicago Bears.
Currently first place and more room to grow, which is real nice to feel.
Hell yeah.
So,
Um, for these other games, I really got into watching the Chiefs versus Broncos,
mhm.
as well as I got into the Commanders game just because my buddy's a Commanders game, but we don't have to talk about that. I was just happy to see that they lost on the last second field goal. That was the 9:30 uh Spain
10:30
game.
Eastern time. So it was
Yeah,
6:30 for me and I didn't get up to watch it.
I
I'll
don't blame
admit.
you. I don't blame you. Let's talk about that Chiefs Broncos game.
Dude.
They're five
Well,
and five
I
after this
mean,
game. Eight and
that
two
this was
for the
in
Broncos.
Denver, right?
Correct.
The Broncos, you can't discount them anymore, dude. I
Nope.
mean, you can't say like Bo Nix isn't producing like he was last season because again, like we've been saying about both of our teams, The numbers don't matter if your team is winning.
Yep.
That defense is for real for the Broncos.
Oh, they're
And
nine and
Bo
two.
Nix is making big plays. You can't
Yeah,
discount that.
they're 9-2, man. Like that's ridiculous to think about of the Broncos.
Hmm.
Uh, they've. I'm trying to check to see if they've already swept
Damn,
the Chiefs.
they haven't even had their
Ne-
bye.
Never mind. They play the Chiefs again on Christmas.
Oh, that's gonna be a hell of a game.
Yeah, that'll be a very meaningful game. And then the Chiefs needed this first one too to kind of level set and catch the race
Hmm.
for the AFC West because you still got the Chargers too.
Yeah.
And so um yes, that you said the Chargers lost to the
The
Jaguars,
Jaguars got their teeth kicked in by the Jaguars.
which helps the Chiefs, but doesn't help the Chiefs because they didn't take care of business in Denver. So
Right.
the Chargers are still in, the Chiefs are out. If the Chiefs miss the playoffs,
Low key, I wouldn't
I'm gonna
mind
get,
it.
I'm gonna get really disrespectful and really loud about Jalen Hurts because you know what Jalen hasn't done since he's been a starter.
Miss the playoffs. I
We'll
like
just
I
we'll
like
just we'll note that for the back of, for another time.
well, we'll bookmark this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that one.
We'll let him know. We'll
Yeah,
remind everyone periodically.
yeah. We're
Let
not
him,
a I told you so type of folks. We're not those type of guys, but I might give you one of those.
might remind you.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, real interesting. You should do that voice more often. The little cupping. I like that.
um, Other than that, I think that, like you said, the Broncos defense is very elite. Those edge rushers are for real.
Mhm.
Um, I think in that they won that game without Pat Surtain, the reigning defensive player of the year.
That's
Like
big.
they'll get him back for the next time they play the Chiefs. Like that's just ridiculous to think about. Because they were targeting um I'm forgetting his name. He actually played alongside Cooper DeJean at Iowa, their white corner. I'm forgetting his name, but he's leading the league in pass interference calls, defensive pass interference calls, and the Chiefs are definitely trying to take advantage of that. I think he got like two or three in that game. Um, I mean, I think a couple of them were ticky tacky. I don't think that he deserved all of it, but
That's what you expect when you're playing against the Chiefs. Refs in their back pocket.
didn't want to say it, but here we are.
I'll say it. We've seen it for years with Green Bay.
Yeah, yeah. How did you feel about the Rams versus Seahawks game?
Dude, what a game. I was running some quick errands. I was listening to it on the radio. Just real
Mhm.
quick, shout out to 93.1 out here in LA. You guys talk a lot of shit and I love it. I love the local radio stations just going off on their opponents.
Really?
That's what sports is all about. I
Hell
love
yeah.
it.
Hey, shout out to 93.1.
93.1, you guys are sick. I think it speaks a lot to Seattle's ability as a team to keep things close, even when their quarterback throws four fucking interceptions.
Hmm.
Two of them were real bad. Two of them were real bad. The jump throw that made it the fourth interception, the golden sombrero of interceptions. I mean, Sam Darnold, whenever put into a pressure situation, kind of reverts back to this version of himself, and that is somewhat concerning for Seattle
Hmm.
moving forward. I know he's been a pretty big focal point of their success this season, but this was a big divisional game. This has a lot of implications for seeding. We're getting to that point of the season where,
Hmm.
these games matter even more than, the first 10 games or whatever. And those games matter too, but these divisional games are going to be what ultimately decides like where you are. The Seahawks are now a wild card team because of that. They're a hell of a
Yep.
wild card team. And they have one more game that they play against one another in Seattle coming up. They gotta put their foot down on the Rams because the Rams are they caught them on a day. Well, I shouldn't say they caught them on a day where the offense wasn't great. The Seattle defense is really good also, but Matt Stafford on in a year where he's thrown 25 touchdowns and two interceptions. to hold him to, I think, one touchdown, 170. Again, yards don't win you games, but the trend of him this season is carrying the Rams to those
Hmm.
wins by throwing 300 yards, three touchdowns. That was a winnable game, and the kicker wasn't able to kick the 60 plus yarder to win it. Which
Hard to
also I
do.
want to give a big shout out to the Rams defensive coordinator for the last play call. I think the Seahawks had one timeout. There was like 10 seconds left. They needed to get an extra like 5, 10 yards to like make it a better field goal position.
Hmm.
They lined up three down linemen and like they're gonna play like this shell zone coverage, like as you would to prevent that chunk. The three down linemen did not rush the passer. They dropped back into like where the linebackers would be. They were all just playing zone,
Yeah.
which I'd never seen. That was a hell of a play call. I loved it.
That's usually something I try to do like on Madden, like quickly like adjust like the D lineman to just back up or like play QB spy or something. Instead of actually rushing the passer, I only have like one person rushing.
Hmm.
But yeah, they pulled a play out of Madden on that one.
Love to see it. But yeah, dude, Battle of the Titans. All these good games coming up on the end of the season. I feel like it's been a pretty good season, honestly.
I agree. I mean, it's a lot of I think there's more parity in the league right now. I don't think there's I think there's like I was talking to my buddy CJ about this. There's like five teams, like the top five teams in the NFC could all make an argument to why they think that they can come out on top of the NFC Championship. Um, I truly believe that. So we'll see what happens, man. Like I can't definitively say like I believe as an Eagles fan that we'll come out, but the way our offense is looking comparatively to some of these other teams' offenses, I don't know. But then it's like, well, look at our defense and how good it is. There's like I said, there's so much parity to the league right now, and I love it. I think that's why this is the best league in the world.
Yes.
Um, I don't know how people like college football more than this. I think college football is getting there. I'm actually starting to like college football a little more because there is now more parity. There's
Yeah.
not just like, hey, Alabama week one or even before the season starts, they're going to be at the championship. Who else
Right.
is going to be there?
I would
Or
have
when
thought
the
of
Clemson,
Indiana. Yeah.
exactly, right. So, very excited for what the league is turning into now that I think there's a decline in the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Um,
It's wide open.
I'm excited. It's a good time to be alive.
Me too. Um, let's see. I don't really have much else for these other games. Oh, Shadeur Sanders made a debut. Didn't
Yeah,
look bad.
no, he didn't.
His
And
first action. Not terrible.
I think their coaching staff should be fired for never giving him any practice with the ones. Like not like the center should never be able to come out and say, I didn't even know his type of cadence. That should never happen.
No, that's crazy. Especially given how Dylan Gabriel didn't look amazing. I
The
mean,
last few weeks he hasn't.
even coming out of college, I didn't think he would translate super well to the NFL. So that's the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, like in such a poor situation to put him in, like Dylan Gabriel as well, like putting him in such a bad position. It's like the fan base has been just clamoring to see Shador, and you're just I don't know what to think of, man. I really don't. I'm
It's
not
a bad situation.
just an L franchise. I have nothing to say. No notes.
Me neither. Um, yeah, that's all I got. Sonny's real happy about her Jags.
Hell yeah, blew them Chargers out.
hmm Just dreaming about him, dreaming about Trevor Lawrence.
Sunshine. But hey, man, as always, friends and family, new friends that we've not met, followers of the show, please give us a like, a comment, subscribe if you feel possessed to. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, also known as x.com, um, at
hmm
pmitch34 and wowbill11, and also our podcast, which is many last words underscore.
That's right. Many last words underscore. Feel free to leave a comment. We will respond to your arguments.
Yes, we will.
We will
We
put
are
you
those
in your
type of people.
place.
We are the type of people. We enjoy. But yeah, man, I love you. All as always. Excellent
Hey,
pod.
I love you too. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you
Mhm.
again soon.